contemplate name that too.
Hi, welcome to the Bloom Show. This is Saeed with, and it's really the Bloom Show and the Flower and Sun Show. And this is a special episode here at CalFlowers, Fun in Sun. It's been pretty awesome so far, right, Juan? And we do have two special guests today, Frank Biddle from Francis Biddle International and Jason Kendall from Kendall Farms. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, appreciate it.
It's been so awesome. We're on the beach. So we're almost barefoot. We're just chilling out, and it's really casual.
Yes.
How have you enjoyed the show so far?
Oh, it's been phenomenal. We're at the Hotel Del Coronado, as you guys know, and anytime we can kind of have a show at the Hotel Del on the beach, can't complain too much.
It's been awesome.
And we're selling some flowers at the same time.
And we got hit with a heat wave, so inland it's hot, and here on the beach it's beautiful. So we picked the right time to be on the beach.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
not bad.
And just the views have been crazy. The sun setting today was just awesome too, right?
Oh, beautiful.
It's just beautiful. So let's start with a couple questions. You wanna break the ice?
Well, first of all, when you introduce Frank, you have to say it's FBI.
FBI. All right.
FBI
I'm sorry.
Trade winds.
And trade winds. Okay.
That's right.
Well, we sort of know who you are, but tell us who you are. So you're Jason from Kendall Farms, and you're a grower.
Yeah, Jason Kendall, Kendall Farms. I'm a second-generation flower grower. So we grow cut flowers up in Fallbrook, California. We grow drought-tolerant cut flowers. We were originally avocado growers. My father started it back in '87, and we were in avocados. And he noticed right away that avocados take a lot of water. And we don't have too much water in Southern California. So that's when we switched over to the drought-tolerant cut flowers like the wax flower, the eucalyptus, and the proteas, and all.
How many years
ago
did you switch?
Well, in '87, so it was probably a couple of years after that, in the early '90s, as we switched over. We kept some, but over the years we've taken out all our avocados.
And how many hectares are you working with?
So we're about 520 acres.
Acres, okay.
Yeah, 520 acres, and in production is probably around 350 of that is in production.
It's all outdoor, right?
It's all outdoor. Yeah, our propagation, we propagate indoor plants, but everything that's outdoors in the fields.
Right, and you grow in some of the most unusual circumstances, because I've been to your farm.
Yes.
And you have to have billy goats to pick the stuff.
Yes.
Billy goats.
We have extremely steep terrain.
Very steep.
Wow.
We do have some areas of the farm that is flat where we'll grow some annuals, but majority of the farm is on steep hillsides. And so we have amazing harvesters that go on those hillsides and cut those flowers.
The guys that pick on our hills are very similar. They're double black diamonds all the way. And these guys are tough. And they wouldn't, frankly, have it any other way. We have warehouse jobs, and these guys not in a million years would want that. They love their views that they're working in. They're outside. They're well paid. It's a great life, So, and they're tough hombres, that is for sure.
Yeah, they're definitely tough hombres. Yes.
Oh yeah. Some of these guys have been with us for probably 15, 20 years. And we have harvesters that cut a lot faster than other harvesters.
Right.
And we actually rank the harvesters. So we put up their scores on how fast they're harvesting.
Do they compete against each other?
And they get pretty competitive against each other. Which is pretty cool to watch.
And with the harvesting, it's one of the things that people don't really take into account that, for instance, wax flower, which is a major crop for us, a major crop for them, that when the season is starting in late December, starts to really pick up into January, and you're heading towards Valentine's Day. January is typically a very slow month, so there's not a lot going on. But when everybody wants 5x a normal load for Valentine's Day, you've only got the same number of pickers, and those guys are going to pick. A slow guy might be 250 to 300 bunches a day. Really good guy on wax might be 400 or 500 bunches a day, but it's a finite number. That's all you can do. And you can't, we have to ship it fresh. We can't hold it. And so it makes the holidays particularly challenging.
Yeah,
that's good to
know.
Take it as fast as you can.
Yeah.
We haven't followed what they did, which is logical to get rid of your avos. I got rid of most. I still kept about 20 acres of avocados, but we keep them somewhat as a kind of a labor fill-in. So when we're picking wax and you can pick avocados as soon as the oil content is certified, ready to go, and that's typically late January. And but the fruit tends to be smaller and it sizes up throughout its cycle, so you can pick through May, June. Once it gets hot, a couple heat waves, you get a lot of drop. But we use the avocados in a way when March comes and April, that those slow days when maybe we get ahead of the pick on flowers relative to demand, we'll put the guys into the trees to pick the avos.
Keep
So
them busy.
for us, it kind of balances out. It eats a ton more water, and that's becoming more and more of an issue. But right now, it's still all the avocado toast fans are giving us a good enough price that it
business
still
with avocado
pays,
toast,
man.
kind of.
So, and I heard actually they're doing that in Medellin as well.
Oh, they're growing a ton of them in Medellin.
Yeah.
Tearing
just
out the
outside.
pom-poms and growing them.
No, not tearing out the palms
They're
because
just growing
they're because the palms are on a flat area.
Right.
Avocados are
Oh, they
like
like
wax
heavy stuff.
flower. You can't. They like water, but you can't. They don't like wet feet, so they need drainage. So you need them on a
constant.
hill. The water's flowing downhill. The roots dry out between waterings. If they don't dry out, you'll get root rot. They'll die off, and you'll get phytophthora in the soil, and you won't be able to grow squat after that. So in Medellin, they're planting them kind of in the area around La Ceja up in the
So,
hills.
so I know this isn't a question we're planning to ask, but I'm just curious. What is your background originally to flowers? Or both of you?
My background, I studied 2 of 4 years of college. I studied abroad. I did a year in Spain. I did a year in Germany. So I had a degree in quote unquote international studies, but it was more of a degree of get Frank out of here. We're done with him. And they gave me a piece of paper. I knew nothing about flowers. I'm from Pennsylvania originally. I came out here intending to learn to surf, and
All
I
right.
fell into the flower business.
Did you learn to surf?
But I love to surf,
Cool.
ski. But I came into the flower game and just picked it up. And I love the agricultural side of it. I spend every day from 6 a.m. till 2 in the office, and then 2 until 4 or 5. We have 4 different farms. I'm at those all day afternoon. I'm with my dogs. It's my happy place. I just
You fly your plane with your dog, right?
fly the plane with. Dog is my co-pilot.
And how about yourself, Jason? What's your background?
So my background is I'm second generation. So
All
my
right.
father started it, like I was telling you guys before, in avocados, and then we switched over to flowers. And I kind of wanted to get into real estate. I went to college down at Point Loma Nazarene University here in San Diego.
Right there.
Yeah, basically right over our shoulder here. And as I was growing up, we bought the farm when I was 13 years old, the first 50 acres. And to me, the farm was just a place to go ride a quad,
Ride dirt bikes.
and ride dirt bikes and have some fun. And my dad had other ideas. He wanted me to help plant and do all kinds of harvesting and all kinds of stuff. So
Work.
it was work, and I was trying to play and everything else. But and then went to college, and then in college, I was calling wholesalers back east in my dorm room, and I was
From
making
your dorm
cold
room.
calls.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had like a little sheet, my sales sheet to what to say. But I had a roommate that always sleep in, so I had to have a big blanket over me and talk on the phone. This is Jason Kendall from Kendall Farms. Under the blanket, trying to be
Also
quiet.
real.
So that's kind of how I got into the business, and started with marketing, and I've done everything in the business. And my background, my degree is business and an emphasis in marketing. And I don't really have a green thumb. I have a great team that are great growers, but on my growing side, my thumb is not green. So luckily we have a great team that does all that.
Yeah. I knew Jason's dad, and he was a sharp guy, very good guy.
Yeah.
Great stories. Great stories.
And you had a big fire there at one point. I know that you were telling us about at the farm. You were
Yeah.
chasing fire around the farm.
Yeah, 2007 we had the rice fire, and it started about one parcel over from our farm. And I got a call from my cousin Troy about 4 o'clock in the morning, and he's like, "Hey, we got a fire on the farm. You got to come on out." And it basically burnt half of our farm that day. There was 50 knot Santa Ana winds. These are winds that come out of the desert,
Yeah.
and it was hot. and so that we didn't have any fire support or anything, and it burned one half of the farm, and we saved the other half of the farm. And then the onshore breeze shifted that night and then came back and burned the other side of the farm. And we lost about 80% of our production in those 2 days.
So considering all the talk about fires and all, how has that affected you lately?
Well, we had to replant. We had to start over, basically, and replant. A lot of the stuff that we kind of wanted to do over time, we basically had a blank slate to go, okay, now we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and we're going to re-put this in here and there. And it was during the recession. So it was kind of if you're going to have a fire, it was the best time because sales were already down.
Yeah.
So it was like, if you're going to pick what year do you want this to happen, consider. But we basically had a clean slate. We put everything back together, put a new crew in, and it made us stronger. Going through tough times just make you stronger.
And how's it been recently? Have there been more issues? Have you been protecting the farms? We've heard of a lot of
that
fires.
rice fire that got him.
Okay.
It burned all the way to the coast.
Okay.
It was a major deal, and you were among the first to go, but it came all the way. I live in Del Mar, which is by the coast, and it was a quarter mile from my house, which is right by the beach. And so, I mean, the point being that what can you do? Not a lot. Like when you said, at 50, 60, 70 mile an hour winds.
That's
and when we get Santa Ana's, the relative humidity is around 4%, which is difficult to conceive of for most people. They don't. Your skin cracks, your skin turns white, and if it goes and those winds are whipping like that, the only thing you can do is get the hell out of the way. You can clear buffer zones, you can maintain weed abatement on your properties. All these things make sense, but literally when it's blowing that hard, which is what they faced, there's nothing you can do. It's an irresistible. It's coming. That's all you can say about it.
What was interesting is we had just started a policy that covered our fields, our crops, outdoor fields, and literally it just started. I think we made one payment.
Wow.
And then we put the claim in, and it was not nearly enough. It was like 10% of our total losses. But now we have insurance for our fields. And what's interesting recently is they're increasing our premiums and they're decreasing the coverage. And there's only one carrier that I know of that covers field crops. And so we're kind of, stuck with getting less and less coverage. So it's a challenge where we're at. It's a big challenge with fire. So,
and water as well, obviously.
Yeah. So our wells are down about 90% right now.
By how much?
90%.
90.
Yeah.
Wow.
We usually are on all well water, and that covers all the farm. And right now we're having to obviously buy a ton of district water. And so we're in a major drought right now.
We dug a well in an area that typically is produced for us, and we got to go deep typically. I've got wells that are 700 feet. We went 1,000 feet and had nothing. We went 1,200 feet and we got 20 gallons a minute, which a good well is like an acceptable well is 60 or 70.
So 20.
A good one's a couple 100, 300 gallons a minute. This is 20 gallons, and the well probably cost $90,000. So it's a crapshoot.
It's like rolling the dice. It's like going to the casino.
It's like, you have to roll like you go.
5 more feet, I can do it.
Yeah.
One more spin.
And they charge per foot as they're drilling.
Sure.
So, and once you get to 1,000 feet, then they charge extra past 1,000 feet. And so they ask you, do you want to go further? Do you want to go further? And it's like a casino.
Say,
you go, yeah, you want to.
Do you feel lucky, punk?
Do you feel?
Dirty
And there's no guarantee that you go to 150 and then you get what you want.
No. I did hire a company. I don't know if you've done that, but I've hired a witching company. And they came out and they said, drill right here. You're going to get a good amount of water right here at about 600 feet or whatever it was. And we went down 600 feet. There was no water And so
They said 601. I
yeah,
told you
so
601.
Troy called me and said, "What do we want to do?" And I said, "Let's go another 100 feet." Went down another 100 feet, no water. What do you want to do? Okay, let's go another
Let's
100
go
feet.
another.
And then we went down to 800 feet, no water. So we pulled out and got nothing.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Yeah. And so supposedly we didn't buy the deluxe version, the deluxe package of, you
bought the discounted
witching,
version?
or something. I don't know. But we ended up getting no water. So
Wow.
it is a roll of the dice.
It's
So where do you buy water?
The district.
From the district.
From the
So that's
city?
just piped in.
Yeah,
as normal.
the
Colorado River water.
Yeah.
River water.
Is it Colorado River water?
Colorado River.
So
But
how?
the Colorado River water is fairly laden with minerals, salts specifically.
Not
Okay.
great for what you're.
So you get leaf burn on your avocados, are particularly susceptible. It works well for most of the flower crops. So.
Yeah, that's rough. When you got to buy water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that increases cost, I imagine, at the moment.
The
right?
cost has increased. I mean, this year, Frank's, we've all seen it. The price of flowers have really increased.
Yes.
So our margins have
Going better.
done
Yes.
done really well. But now a lot of costs are coming up.
The
That's
water,
what's happening. Yeah.
Water's one of them. Materials, hard goods, all that kind of stuff. So
Labor,
labor,
that
yes,
lack of labor as well.
yes. But it's been good for like the last 18 months of with pricing going up, and now that's catching. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen over the next 12 months. Are we going to continue to have price increases, or is it going to stabilize or come down? But definitely our costs are coming up, and water's one of them. And this is the worst drought that we've ever been in. Yeah.
we really have to look at all the crops we grow and do a cost benefit analysis. Are they going to pay? What's the demand of it? And if there might be certain crops that people really want. We grow some white king protea. They're dogs. They don't produce and they don't drink a ton of water, but we can't really go all in on something like that because you're going to get 3, 4, 5 stems of plants. And on a different protea, you might get 60, 70 stems. So you really got to look at every plant. Are they paying their way? And if they're not,
They're out of there.
They're out.
You've
Yeah.
got to get your guys, on the water side. Coyotes, they chew through our lines
Yeah.
Oh,
constantly.
Yeah.
really?
They come in.
They
we
know
got
where the
these
water is.
half-inch
They're going for
black-
the water. Yeah.
No,
They're
not even
going for the water.
They're
Yeah.
going. I don't think so.
Shit. Sorry. We've had some.
Well,
wind
what do you
issues.
know? I think they're mostly
was
doing
dramatic.
it because they like to chew on stuff. They just like chew toys. They always come into the same areas, and so when you're doing this, when you're watering, you got to go into the block, walk the line. Watering is not just turn on the water, time it, and walk away.
Oh yeah.
You got to walk it, find all the leaks that you're going to have, because not only are you dumping water, but where they've chewed through the line, every plant downstream's
He's
getting no
not
water.
getting no water.
Wow.
So-
Coyotes
Wow.
eat.
There's a
Talk
ton
about
of
that.
labor just in
Really?
watering, and you've seen the hillsides. So you got to be a mountain goat running up and down these
To find-
hillsides with couplings and extra hose to patch all
Couple
the
everything back
things.
together.
I hered from another grower just recently that he actually puts buckets of water out for the coyotes.
I do too. It
Just
doesn't
to
make a
avoid
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. They don't care. They chew through the
So
damn
chew
water.
through it anyway.
They do it anyways.
Yeah, it's
We got
that plastic
tons of
PVC, the hose. They love chewing
It's a
on
chew
that.
toy. It's a raw.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They just
I'll
chew
just chew on
for
it.
fun of it.
And then they
Yeah.
get something out of it.
Uh,
It
Yes,
gives them water.
they get
Okay.
water out of it. Yes.
Yeah, they're buggers.
So
Wow.
logistics has been a really hot topic lately. How has that affected you guys in any way?
It's affected us, obviously, in California. We're somewhat affected by the fact that there's so much eastbound cargo
Okay.
of perishable items, produce specifically.
Yeah.
So it makes everything very expensive. Now, with COVID and the labor issues, with Armelini, with Prime, with all the trucks, they've raised their rates. They make it so the customers have to unload their trucks at the end destination. And what that does is it makes it so that the customers they've increased their minimums. So customers that used to have 2 trucks a week, maybe they're running on 1 truck a week.
Yep.
And some of them have given up out of California entirely, and maybe you'll ship it through Miami.
Okay.
Get their eucalyptus that's shipped out of Miami, or so it's very expensive. So and it's the logistics of moving everything between the farms. Between the farms,
Yeah.
we've got 4 farms. Take it to a central
California's a long
packing
state.
facility.
Mhm.
It's tough.
Yeah, we have a big challenge because we're California, and everything that comes from China and everything that comes from
comes
Asia.
in as well.
Yeah, we have to compete with that freight that's
Right.
also going outbound, and we're trying to get flowers there, and then it's coming back empty. So shipping out of California has always been a challenge. So when people say logistic issues, it's been an issue forever.
Yeah.
You know, so it's gone up big time in price and cost and everything else. But everything else has gone up.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels like it's just kind of another one of those things, you know.
Juggling acts. Yeah, you balance the numbers.
Yeah.
Or try to anyway.
But the one thing California flower growers have always been adaptive.
You gotta
and
be resilient.
Of course,
And I think for the most part right now, people are pretty optimistic.
Yeah, I think this probably bears it out here. I really haven't heard any bad news here. Everybody's sort of
Right. Yeah.
optimistic.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
everybody came out of a couple good years, or
It's
so.
been amazing last 18 months or so.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know what the next 12 months looks like. That's what all of us are talking
The
about.
next 6
exactly.
months,
Yeah.
and the next 12 months, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
We're kind of seeing the crest of the top, and so how do we plan for that? We got to be thinking three years down
Yeah,
the
you
road
got to
on
plan
what we plant,
accordingly.
and we're doing perennials.
A rose grower in Ecuador will put a rose flower plant in, and they'll be picking, not a lot, but they'll be picking on it in 7 to 8 months.
Yeah. 7, 8
We're
months.
looking typically 2 years.
Really?
Yeah,
And to get to, if you planted a protea plant right now, in 2 years you'd get 4 or 5 stems. In 4 years you'd get 30 stems. 6 years you get 60 stems.
They just keep
But
going.
it's a long. You've got to be an optimist.
You got to
play
be
this game.
optimistic. Yeah.
You got to feel that there's a.
And you got to nurture the plant the whole time.
yeah.
and nurture it.
We've planted a lot of eucalyptus and waxflower over the last year and a half. A lot of eucalyptus. The demand for eucalyptus has
It's been
skyrocketed,
crazy.
and so we're planting quite a bit. But we're wondering when that demand's going to run out.
Yeah.
It's a big trend. But we've got a lot in the ground, a lot of baby plants in the ground.
Right.
That'll be coming up in the next couple of years.
Yeah, we've planted a lot of eucalyptus as well, and a lot of people have, but it still seems at this point it's nowhere near reaching the demand for it. The demand still
Really?
far outstrips
So the demand
the
for
massively
Yeah.
increased production that many of us have participated in is still
Still sucking that up.
Yeah,
pulling it
the
right
demand
out
is
as
strong.
fast as we can.
wow.
Eucalyptus, really.
There's a lot of people planting, and this happened, I think, about 10, 15 years ago when a lot of people, maybe 20 years, when a lot of people planted eucalyptus and planted it so much, and then it
It
drove
crashed.
down the market. And that's what's kind of
And that'll
happening
happen.
now.
uh,
Yeah,
It's the classic
that's what
farm
growers
race.
do. We plant until we
Yes.
just kill the market. Yeah.
I grew up in South Florida. I mean, in South Jersey, in farmland, and basically, nobody grew peppers this year. One guy grew peppers. Great. Peppers were getting great. Everybody grew peppers.
Everybody
next year.
plants peppers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it crashed.
Tomatoes,
Yes.
everything follows that boom and bust.
So everybody's sticking to eucalyptus now. Everybody's
Well, a
going
lot
for
of people have. The one beautiful thing with ukes is ukes don't require a lot of water,
it. We don't.
but if you give them a lot of water, they'll grow and they'll produce. If you try to skimp on the water, they'll survive and they'll be okay.
Okay.
So once they're established, so you can pull back on the cost a little bit in the production, but right now you're cranking the water to them. Ukes was also pretty much a hassle-free crop, but it's probably been about 8 years that the tortoise beetle came
There's
along.
been a beetle that comes
So
along.
this-
Yeah.
This
boy.
tortoise beetle came, and I believe it was out of Africa, and it looks like a little ladybug, but it's kind of grayish in color. The same exact body type as a ladybug,
Yeah.
and it lays these orange eggs that then turn to larvae, and the larva eats the ukes.
Yeah.
They really like the baby blue,
Mm.
and they like the bonsai, and they like silver dollar.
Oh,
They don't
all
touch
your- All your
parvifolia,
nice crops.
and they're easy to kill, so they're easily treated. But it used to be that all you did was water your ukes and
And it was
fertilize
done.
them. Now we got to spray them, but it's not that often. It's not that big of a hassle.
Great. So I know Willie might be going on stage
Yeah,
in a
I'm gonna
moment.
have
So,
to
Willie's
bail.
going on
so
stage.
Willie's gonna
Great.
play. So we're gonna have
You
to
play
let him
for us,
go.
Willie?
I am.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he's gonna jam out today.
All
so
right.
It's one of the surprises. And a couple band members from the flower industry are
Yeah.
coming on.
Yeah, you got,
Oh, that'll be
you got
awesome.
you got C. Montgomery Burns,
Yeah.
Mr. Burns from
Ben from
Bill.
Mayish as well is coming
Yeah.
up playing
Ben's
guitar. So
Oh, that'll be
it's gonna
great.
be a lot of fun. But gentlemen, thank you so much for being
Yeah,
here today.
appreciate
Yeah, it's been a
My
pleasure.
yeah.
One little curveball question is, what does that flower feeling mean to you?
That flower feeling means to me that the magic that one feels when you see flowers, that lifts your spirit, and it shows you the fragility, the beauty of life and the fragility of
Yeah.
life. And it's something that only flowers can really express.
Great.
Yeah.
And how about you yourself, Jake?
Have you ever given anybody flowers?
There's always a smile. Yes, sir.
They light up. People light up, and they get that feeling. And also, when people purchase it for themselves, they get that feeling, and that's basically what that flower feeling is. And so, that's
awesome.
my version.
Yeah, it's that feeling.
That feeling.
And,
that's
and
what
we,
it is.
we
Yes.
appreciate your support
No,
in that
thank
flower
you.
feeling.
Guys. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
And really, thank you.
Really, we're here to help, and thank you so much for your support and being here today. And it had a bunch of questions. We didn't even go through them, but we learned so much
But
today.
we found out information.
It
That's
was
what we're here
awesome
for.
information that I think the audience could really enjoy and make better decisions based on those things. So thank you again, gentlemen, for
Thank
being
you
with us today.
for having me.
All right.
Great.
Thank you.
So we're basically live. Actually, I forgot to mention. So you guys can just walk out and take off
All right.
the.
All right.
The next guest will come
Rock
in.
on, Willie, dude.
And Willie's gonna
Okay,
rock it.
here we
go.
Willie's gonna
All
rock
right.
it. So again, we have Willie right now. Steve Dion's on stage talking. There's been a lot of events happening, so it's been really exciting. And Willie's been taking pictures all day, right?
I have all day.
Yeah. So Willie's getting excited right now to go.
Yes,
jam,
I'm
right?
going
So
to
Willie's
bail
gonna go,
on
and I'm gonna be running the show by myself because Willie's out, and I think we have the next guest coming. I can barely see because of the light. But gentlemen, thank you very much. How are you? Juan Carlos? How are you, FJ? Thank you.
Yeah.
Seeing you guys throughout the day.
Right?
Thank you for joining and
course.
taking a minute of the festivities to hang out with us.
Yeah, no, of course. So
Really
how do we
true.
do this? You just
Clip it on.
flip it on there?
Clip it on. Yeah, we're
good to go.
we're
right.
good to go. We're already live, so we've already
Oh.
checked everything. Yeah. It's
Okay,
perfect.
sorry.
It's just a flow. No,
I didn't realize that.
you're
Sorry.
comfortable. It's chilling out, man. So it's really relaxed. How's the show been for you?
It's been great.
Been enjoying this scene? Like, it's been so chilled, and you saw the sunset today.
It's incredible.
It was incredible,
It's
man.
incredible.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was a beautiful setting, beautiful show. It's good to be able to get back together with everybody after COVID. So
And that's what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
It's just there's great energy here today.
Yes.
There's a great environment there. Tell us a little bit about your favorite highlights while we've been here.
It's been this whole setup. I mean, the whole thing, it's Hotel Dell is such a beautiful place, and it's almost impossible not to like it. I mean, I've been to a few shows up there, and I have to say this has been one of the most exciting. The whole setup. The whole right at the sand, right at the ocean. I mean, it get better than San Diego.
It's like you're working, but you're on vacation almost. Right?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, you got to watch the photos you send back to the office. 'Cause you're like, wait a minute. I thought you said you were working. I'm like, yeah, we are working.
Yeah.
You have to look exhausted.
Yeah,
exactly,
Look
exactly.
exhausted. So do me a favor and we got a
Oh,
Photo.
hey, Señor Franco. Hey.
So Juan Carlos, do us a favor and introduce yourself to the audience.
Yeah, so Juan Carlos with Drama Nectar. I'm the sales manager for the company, and also I do procurement as well. I've been at the company for 25 years this January. So every day that I go to work, it's always something exciting. I have to say that in the floral industry, there's always so many new things that you always encounter, and so I started in 1998 as the warehouse manager.
Okay.
And I move up to sales, and then I do procurement, and then the company's been through a lot of transitions lately. So I think that's it for me. So
And how about yourself?
FJ Truskowski or Francis Joseph Truskowski Jr.,
All right.
whichever is easier.
I think Jay
And,
Schwanke was saying FJ.
Yeah, FJ.
That's it.
That's right. FJ's fine. I'm VP of Sales for Continental Floral Greens.
Okay.
I've been there 7, going on 8 years. I've been in the industry close to 30 years. And Continental's a big greens grower. That's what we focus on in Washington, Oregon, California,
Florida. I have a strategic partnership in Guatemala.
We're in
Group-
Florida. I'm sorry.
We're in DeLand, so we have farms up in DeLand area, and then we
Alright.
have sales and operation in Miami also for hitting all of our wholesale clients.
So we have a wholesaler, right?
Grower wholesaler as well. Grower wholesaler,
wholesaler,
correct.
and you are solely
Grower.
right?
Yep, grower, and we do manufacturing. So one of our biggest crops is noble fir for Christmas season.
Okay.
So we harvest probably 14 to 16 million pounds a year. We sell it also. We own 10,000 acres of noble, all high mountain blue noble near Mount St. Helens, and we harvest that, use it for our own production of wreaths, but also sell to other wreath producers.
And what are you producing?
So we grow. So we're now in Mexico. So
Okay.
we move the farm, the majority of the farm to Mexico here in Rosarito area. An hour for the an hour drive from the border. So we are mainly growers of lilies, gerbers, spray roses, but we have some key partners as well. So that grows larkspur, serenade asters, dusty miller, limonium. We have some succulents up there in the same
Wow.
location,
You guys have
in
a-
the same farm. Now we do have again brokers and partners like Continental that we work with them. We are so blessed here in San Diego that we have people that grows eucalyptus pretty much.
We've heard that's
City
a hot
eucalyptus.
item lately.
Oh,
Very
I mean,
hot.
it's,
It's not going to stop being hot for a long time.
oh, I know. I mean, the greenery has been insane.
How long has it been coming up?
I think Uke's been popular for years, but the
Right.
demand is just ridiculous. I mean, we joke and say if I had 3 times as much, I could sell it all.
So
without
when I
even-
think of uke, I think of the health benefits, right?
Yeah.
So do you think that has something to do, like the flower feeling, the health benefits? Is that something?
I think it does. I mean, it's when you visit supermarkets, you can even see people smelling it, like just grabbing it, and there's that connection between eucalyptus and the aromatherapy. So I think there is a big part there.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's to see that after COVID. So after COVID, did it shoot up?
I think it shot up, and I said I think the interesting with COVID, we all saw a big bump in sales,
And also,
and
yes.
I also saw, I think we saw a big thing where certain customers had certain recipes they really liked,
Okay.
but it was less specific. They just said, I need something that's going to sell.
Gotcha.
And which
Yeah.
really helped us a lot. It was more revenue driven than I have to have 3 stems of huck in this arrangement. It was just give me something that's going to sell, that the end consumer is going to want.
Okay.
Eucalyptus is a hot button for
I
everybody.
remember right before COVID, when it was happening, we grabbed bunches of eucalyptus and put it in our room
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
for our lungs and be safe. And we're over prepping.
yeah.
But I could imagine that continued for some
Yeah.
people.
Well, yesterday I was playing golf with Bob Myers from
Okay,
Bob
yeah, of
Covert.
course.
He was telling us that the whole baby uke, everyone in Vancouver had gone crazy buying it just because of, like we were
The
saying,
health benefits. Wow.
yeah, make you feel good and,
Yeah.
and the texture
Yep.
and everything like eucalyptus.
So from that conversation, it seems that flower feeling is on the right track then.
Oh yeah,
They-
definitely.
they-
Definitely.
That's pretty interesting because it is that health benefit and they've done it themselves. And imagine now that flower feeling implementing that and
Yes.
encouraging and pushing that.
100% though.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely though.
That's amazing. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So considering, let's talk about logistics. It's a little bit of a hot topic. And how have logistics affected your business at the moment? Especially you're coming from Mexico as well.
We are
How
correct.
is that angle looking?
You know what? We've been lucky. I have to say that at the very beginning, that was one of our main concerns that we
Okay.
had because, we're not that lucky that we're not 10 minutes walk like we used to be
Yeah.
from the warehouse to the production, to greenhouses. Now, well, I mean, it's an hour, 2 hours drive from where we are, and it's been good. I have to say that we ship in 3 times a week. Monday,
Wow.
Wednesday, Fridays, we receive our products every Monday 4 a.m. and Wednesday 5 a.m. and Friday 5 a.m. And so far, we no problems at all. The major problems were coming from product coming from Miami, actually, though,
Okay.
because of COVID. We broker a lot of product from South America too. So bringing that product from South America to Miami and bringing it to California, it was a problem for a while. Just at the beginning when the whole COVID started.
Wow.
A lot of flights, got canceled. A lot of things got canceled. Trucks, as you know it,
Okay.
there were no truckings. Pretty much very few running to
And has that
California.
improved now?
Oh yes, no, yeah, it has improved a lot.
Okay.
It definitely.
But are we still back to the same? Are we back to normal?
I think so. I mean, in
Pretty
our
close.
case, yeah, in
Okay.
our case, we made some strategic moves that that is helping us now, cost wise and time and delivery wise. So it has helped us a lot.
And how about yourself, AJ?
I think one of the big things we've done is we looked at it years ago, and we have West Coast operations and East Coast operations, and you realize you don't want to be moving a bunch of product back and forth because there's a cost.
Okay.
So we've tried to look at our selection and our grouping and say, let's see if we can create a West Coast bouquet and an East Coast bouquet. So we've tried to add a lot of diversity at each of the farms on both coasts. And then I think one thing that's happened a lot with logistics is you look at it, whereas a lot of supermarkets before said, I want a landed price or FOB. And, landed price was danger zone. I was like, guys, we got to be careful.
Avoid that.
Whereas they kind of didn't want to talk about it with you. Now they're, okay, let's look at it. If I can do a better price than you, let's be open about it. Like, give me an FOB, but then let's both look at our costing for freight and what's it going to cost to move the product. So
can you say that this whole situation created more of a collaboration with your
definitely, I think so. And I think we all have to work together because we have to move product. And if we do it together, then we're going to save the end consumer is going to pay a little bit less and hopefully buy more. So I think it has opened a lot of doors as far as let's talk about it. Let's figure out what makes the most sense.
And how do this show is really about connecting, and that's why we had you both on.
Yeah.
And how can farms and growers collaborate together? Is it through information? Is it through resources? What have you ever collaborated with other farms? Give us some examples of that.
Yeah, I think we've done a lot. We do a lot with Lane at Sun Valley, for instance, and just sort of talk about, because we're in different businesses. He's flowers, we're greens, but how is there some synergy there?
Yeah.
And I think you have to be open to talk about it. I think our CFO, well, you're gonna have to cut this out because I'm gonna be nice about it, but our CFO Jose is really good about you can cut this out. He's really good about bringing people together. And you might think, well, wait, we're kind of competing, but let's talk about it, because you don't have to necessarily be competing, and it's okay to compete a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of overlap, but at the same time say, should we be looking at our business differently, and is there an opportunity for us to do something together where typically we wouldn't have looked at it? And I think you have to be open to say, hey, what are you guys doing? What are we doing? Maybe we do part of that equation better than you do. And we can still compete at a certain level, but also say maybe there is some synergy and we'll save cost-wise, and that'll help all of us.
Exactly. And how about yourself?
Well, in our case, I always tell people, so people ask me, right, so you guys have, what do you guys do? And so I always go like, yeah, we grow 5 crops, yet we sell 50 at any given time. And basically the way we see it is, back then when I started the company, we used to grow pretty much everything.
Okay.
From the solidasters to the delphiniums to the purple monarchs, the freesias, So we have kind of concentrated in what we do the best, which is lilies, gerbers, and spray roses. Yet we sell 50 crops, So in my case, it has been the job to be looking for good, reliable partners, where we said, okay, listen, I mean, why would I be trying to grow lemon tips? That would make no sense for us.
Yes.
Or again, solidaster. So we try to build those partnerships where we can benefit in both ways, being fair prices and at the end of the day, say it is, we are in an industry where the amount of farms that are left is less and less every year.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, we better treat each other properly, right? So we better be fair to one each other, because every year you hear about farms closing.
Yep.
You don't really hear that many farms actually opening.
There hasn't been many small, like slow flower movement. You haven't seen anything like that much.
No, and I think it's the big keep getting bigger. I mean, you hear about consolidation. And I think COVID, sort of drove people that were sort of on that line. They were surviving, but could they do anything? I think it sort of forced some of them out of the business and made improvement. We've got a big group over here trying to get a photo bomb.
Exactly.
There's about 60 people trying to get in a van
They're trying
for a
to get
photo,
in a van
so
and
it's going to
take
be a little
pictures
interesting.
and having fun. So sorry for the noise. I hope, Adam, are we still all right? All right,
We're
so
good.
we're told we're
Yeah.
still all right.
Still
But
good.
that's
Yeah.
the vibe, right, guys?
right.
So
Yeah,
No one's
it's
having
fun
fun.
and sun.
No one's having
no
fun.
one's having any
Yeah.
fun
Yeah.
in sun at all. So, but that's a little bit of a vibe, and we said Willie Armelini's getting up to the plate
Yeah,
today, so
I see that.
it's going to be a lot of fun.
I see that.
So I have a question just in the back of my head. In some farms in Central South America, you know, in Colombia and Ecuador, they cut production when COVID hit. Was that something that happened too? That you guys cut crops and get rid of crops and things like that before producing?
You want to go ahead?
We
Did
got
you
lucky in
reduce?
a way.
Okay.
So we're greens growers.
Okay.
So a lot of our crops, we can let it grow.
Okay.
We can just say we're just not going to cut.
Right.
So I think it's tough when you're growing lilies and
Oh,
you have a you
Yeah,
have a orange lily
roses,
for Thanksgiving.
Of course.
You got to cut it. It's ready. It's mature. You got to cut it.
Yeah.
We had the ability to say, okay, can we ease off certain fields, you know, and strategically. Leather leaf, there's a lot of stuff you still do have to cut. So did we waste some? Yeah, you wasted some, but you try to look at the big picture and say, can we just, if we don't go into that field, can we let it grow a little bit longer? And then are we going to be able to get what we want out of it a couple months from now?
Okay.
So we were a little bit more strategic about that. I think that's an advantage of being greens. I don't think the flowers guys
More
had that
consistent.
advantage.
Yeah.
no,
How about yourself?
we. I mean, I don't really want to even picture those days, to be honest with you, because what I see is a big giant dumpster full of
Oh
flowers.
wow.
We couldn't. I mean, Gerbers, you have to cut them.
Okay.
Lilies, you have to cut them. You know, spray roses. Yeah, so I gotta say that was sad. Those were the sad days. We couldn't even give them away. I mean, we had it hundreds of thousands of stems of flowers that went into trash cans.
Wow.
I mean, after that, we already had the plans to move the farm to Mexico. You know, even prior to COVID,
Okay.
because of the labor situation here in California. You know, being so high now, so we already had the plan to move. And basically, what it did is just more or less solidify, saying, okay, we're going in the right direction. You know, we're still gonna go with the plan. And yeah, so we moved. So we are mainly in Baja now, and we have a small footprint in Carlsbad here in San
Okay.
Diego. We're in San Diego. So, but no, definitely, those days were not fun at all. I mean, those,
I imagine.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we all grew out of it, right? And
Correct.
it's better now in many senses, and we're all collaborating more and really listening to our customers, and they're listening to you,
Yeah.
which is important. I
Yeah.
think it brought the industry closer, right?
Yes,
correct.
And you have felt that as well.
definitely.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time
Oh, no,
today,
thank
man.
you, though.
I know. I want to hold you from the party festivities, and you guys should go together and take a picture.
Oh, it's a long line. I mean,
It's a long line.
something happened up there.
to
Out of the,
take
out of the
pictures.
sun.
Naish crowd.
So-
Naish guys are having
so-
too much fun.
Yeah, they are. So one final little curveball question is, what does that flower feeling mean to you?
I mean, it's a great movement. You know, I mean,
But what does that flower feeling mean to you?
to me, I mean, it's something amazing. Again, this is true. Okay, so in the business 25 years, not 30 yet, no, not quite there yet. But I clearly remember asking the one of my customers back in, I don't know, 2002, somewhere back then. And I did ask him, hey, so when is the time for you to say, I'm out of this, you know, I'm out of the floral industry? And the thing that I remember him telling me was like, the minute that you walk in, you know, being us growers, into a greenhouse, and there is a new variety, it's a new color, it's a new something that should give you that wow factor. And if you see it, and if you don't say wow, it's time for you to get out. So I still say wow, you know, I still say I love it, you know, and so that the whole flower feeling for me is more like, you know,
Is the
it's
wow?
still having the wow factor. I mean, I keep looking at that arrangement right in front of me, and I
Beautiful,
keep
yeah.
looking at the iris, like, oh my, they look nice, you know. I've been kind of looking at the whole thing up there, though, all of this time, but it's more like the wow factor. You
And
know?
how about yourself, AJ?
I'm going to steal because that was a great answer. But it's that wow factor. I still love having flowers in the house. And you think you've been at it for 30 years and you've seen everything, and you go to farms and you're blown away by what people are doing. But when you go home or you bring a box of flowers or ship some in, and you're just like, that is a freaking cool rose, or that's cool. We had
It is
Gerbers,
cool,
we had
right?
Germinis in the house last
Yeah.
week. And just to see the different shades of orange and just to look at them go, it still gives you that, you get that jazz feeling. Like you said,
Right.
I think that's what the flower feeling means to me, is that that excitement. And if we can bring it to more people, it's going to be awesome for all of us in
And
the
that
industry.
flower buzz, right?
Yep.
That flower buzz. So
Yep.
gentlemen, again, thank you so much for your
You know,
time.
thank you
and for your openness and having conversation and for coming out of your comfort zone, to join us as well today. So thank you
for having
both so much for your time.
Thanks very much.
Appreciate it, man.
This was awesome.
And now enjoy the festivities, and I'll see you at the bar, right?
All right.
All right.
See ya. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Take
This
off.
was
No,
great.
Thank you,
All right,
guys.
thanks.
Thank you, guys. Truly
All right.
appreciate it. I think that we have a jumping call. Maybe not. That person's gonna jump in today, because I think I heard them yelling for. Oh, there we go. All right. I just don't see much here. But Casey just lost his credit card, so we're having his beautiful wife join us today. Michelle, Michelle, how are you? Thank you for jumping in. Casey lost his credit card, and we hear the band calling for the credit card, and that's just interesting, fun events that happen.
At least it wasn't me.
At least it wasn't you, but
Yeah, then we'd be in trouble. He'd be like, really?
But Michelle has her own story as well. What we've been trying to do is having jump-ins with couples. I think that it's cool to talk about couples and because there's always a great woman behind a great man and a great man behind a great woman. So tell us a little bit about, and we'll wait for Casey. Right? Here comes Casey. Here comes Casey. Casey, you found your credit card? That is awesome. So clip on there, Mr. Casey.
Oh, we're not live yet.
We're live.
Yeah,
We're live. You're just asking we're not live, but we are live. So that's what's fun about being live. But Casey and Michelle, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Truly appreciate you guys. And I was talking to your dad, and your dad told me, hey, you got to talk to them. They're like the royalty family, which is cool. So Michelle, tell me where you're from and your background in the flower industry.
So my dad started Simpson's Greens in 1990.
Simpson's Greens in
I started
1990.
working there in 2016. So
Okay.
it's been about 6.5 years, almost 7 years. I met Casey in 2017 at Woofsa.
All right.
We kind of just clicked as friends. We didn't start dating until a year after, and we kind of just hit it off. But so we sell a lot of greens to them.
Okay.
So they were kind of our customer, and when I would see like Jeff Rush calling, I would be like,
What are you?
hi! And I would he would be on the other line, and I was like, hey, how are you? But yeah, we just kind of clicked.
Yeah, and Casey, you got game then, huh?
She played a little hard to get,
That's
We
great.
worked it for a while. No, but it was really just a good friendship at first, which turned into
And it was on the phone,
So
so it was one of those phone.
on the phone, and then we met each other at a Woofsa show,
Okay.
and we hung out pretty much that night with everybody. It was a great time. We were probably like the only two similar in age,
Okay.
so we got
Yeah.
along a lot better right off the bat that way. And then we just
It's
kept
typical in this industry being young, and that's why I found Next Gen super
Yeah.
awesome, being there and having a different crowd that's you're similar to your age, and being around that was really awesome, because Woofsa is the same people all the time, and this was bringing the younger generations in, so that was really cool for
There
us.
was many unfamiliar faces,
Right.
Which was
Yeah.
cool. Which
Yeah.
is really cool, right?
Yeah, so that was cool. But yeah, I mean, being in a relationship and being in this industry is awesome, because you understand the level of commitment to your company.
Yeah.
And the respect. When he says I have to be at work at 6 a.m. on a Monday, and
You
I
completely
can't
get
be, we gotta, I gotta do it, and I'm there till 6 o'clock at night. Him, not me. He's there till 6 o'clock at night. I understand it and I respect it. Because coming from a similar background in the industry and stuff like that, it's just another level of respect that you hold for each other,
Yeah.
and you understand.
And
So,
what role do you have in Cincinnati?
I'm a sales rep,
Okay.
so I sell to wholesale companies.
Gotcha.
I was buying for a little while, California greens actually, but COVID hit, so it was just easier knowing for my aunt to start buying again, knowing what was coming in and out as far
Gotcha.
as financials were. So yeah, I'm just a sales rep. I love it. I've gained the respect from my customers that I've been dealing with for the last 6.5 years. I've lost some for that have passed away, some that have
Wow.
closed.
Okay.
Because when I was given my accounts in the beginning, it was older
Yes.
older
yes.
generations, older men, and it was really tough being a 23-year-old that I didn't really connect. So I was like, how am I going to make it?
Wow.
How am I going to make this a success? And I would cold call.
That's the way to do it.
I would have to, and I would call all the time, and until people started coming through, and I started getting a level of respect, and it just, I started selling, and my numbers started going up, and I was like, wait, so like I could do this, like this
Yeah.
is, and I like what I do.
And you,
I
and
take-
you won't leave the industry.
Yeah.
That's once you get that buzz, man.
I got that buzz, and I was
Yeah.
like, I was walking into the exhibitors today, and like I just kind of got like a little emotional. I don't know why, but it was like just seeing it. It's like, it's just for me. Also, it's like my dad passed
Okay.
in 2009, so it's like refreshing, like knowing that it's still alive, and like I just
Yeah.
feel like I don't know. It's good. It's great. I love it.
And Casey, what is your role in Jet Fresh, so that everybody knows?
Now I'm transitioning into like sales management.
Okay.
But I started, with especially with my dad. My dad.
You started.
So
from
we
the ground
start,
up.
which is the best way to do it.
Yeah, man.
Start at the bottom, pulling orders, making deliveries. Then I started running the warehouse for a while, and from there I started. Fern was whispering, start coming to some shows, and we'll get you in there.
Yeah.
Start selling a little bit. So I started selling. I do a little buying. That's why I'm out here, because I do the California buying,
Okay.
along with some other things now. And yeah, I'm still selling, and I'm trying to learn as much as possible about
And
management.
you're very dedicated, man. Because
Yeah, I
I've
think-
seen you till 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Yesterday I couldn't find a box of FedEx, and he's calling the people to make sure that I get the and you're traveling in, and I'm like, I've called and I've done it. So you're very professional, and you really take it serious.
Non-stop service.
Non-stop service.
Well, I think
man.
as like I transitioned my roles there from into sales and now sales management, I kind of change as a person too a lot, thanks to her as well.
Oh yeah,
really
Casey.
great
When I
partner.
first started dating him, not to throw him under the bus or anything, but was getting
Not to throw him on the bus or anything, but here I go.
was getting to work late a little bit too
Yeah,
often, and I was like, you better shape up, or your dad's gonna get upset with you. And sure enough,
No, he
like
doesn't play that. You're late.
he
You go.
doesn't
You don't
play
work.
that.
You go
and,
home.
Really?
And
You're late. You go home.
instantly,
Yeah.
it was like something lit inside of him. And
Yeah.
and when I tell you that the Casey that I met initially is not the Casey, he's changed way for the better.
That's awesome.
Like in the industry and how he's evolved, like I applaud him, and he's fantastic. And when he's winning, I'm winning. So yeah,
And that's
it's
a
great.
good way to think of a relationship,
Absolutely.
And I know your dad's really proud of you guys, man, and of you two, and it's pretty awesome when he talks about you guys. It's awesome, man,
Well, he's
Ryan,
awesome.
Casey, yeah, man.
We got a good group.
I call him the Godfather now.
Yeah, he is the Godfather.
of
Yeah.
power in this
That'd be a
man.
good shirt, actually. You gotta
Yeah.
tell Ryan to get on that
Yeah,
shirt. Bring in new merch
Mike
now.
Black, the Godfather. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Exactly.
So
Funny
I want to
how-
have a little fun here. I'm gonna
Okay.
ask you questions
Oh gosh.
about him
Oh
and
shoot.
see if you get them right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Let's try it
I'm
out.
pretty confident in
Here
this.
we go. Say, let's wait till.
Yeah.
Look at
The
look at the
military.
moon, guys. Look at that.
Yeah, the moon is nice. There were just Navy people swimming in the ocean.
Wow, this Navy
So-
Navy SEAL
Training.
So let's ask a fun question. One is, what's his favorite flower?
Oh my god. I'm gonna go with my favorite flower, Blushing Bride.
What is your favorite flower?
Oh, it's probably peony.
Green? All right. What's his favorite color?
Green.
All right, you got it. What's his favorite cheese?
Cheese?
Yeah, I just like that question. It's funny.
American cheese.
American cheese.
It's Manchego.
Or Manchego, yeah.
What's his favorite band?
Band?
Yeah.
We don't listen to a lot of bands, man.
Sublime. Hey, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Sublime. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
He also listens to what I listen to.
All right,
That'd be a good
all right.
answer, though. Sublime.
Sublime,
And then-
Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Flat, cat, or jet?
Jet. That's not even a question. He
Jet
hates
is
cats. Well, he
awesome,
doesn't
man.
hate cats, but
Jet's my boy too.
Yeah, loves
man.
guys.
Like that. So Casey, we'll do it with you. What's her favorite color?
Your favorite color? Pink.
There you go. Favorite flower?
Blushing Bride.
Oh, you cheated on that one. Favorite cheese? Favorite cheese.
Manchego. Vermont cheddar.
he's like me, you see?
Oh, you got it, man. Wait, I'm bringing someone. Favorite band?
She likes any concert with The band, you don't have a lot of bands. I don't know. It's like hip hop, you know.
Okay, gotcha.
I like them
Post
all.
Malone.
That's what I was gonna say too.
Favorite food?
Favorite food? Stone crabs.
Stone crab.
Holy crab, check them
Yeah,
out.
you got an expensive.
Holy crab delivery. They deliver all nationwide.
It's your own stock in the burger. It's your own stock. Plant, cat, or jet?
Jet.
Jet all the way, man. If you haven't met Jet, you have to go visit him and meet Jet because he's awesome. He howls at you. He has conversations. The hot dog is
Can we
like,
add him like
should've-
screen
yeah.
in chat?
Can we,
Yeah,
like,
Should've brought
you can put him
Jet.
here?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna for Christmas. I got a plan for you guys. Remember to send me a picture, guys, please. But again, guys, thank you so much for jumping in.
Yeah.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
for having
And
us.
I'm glad that people got to know you guys.
Yeah,
you know, at that level.
absolutely. This is great.
Really-
This is awesome.
Yeah, it's-
Love this.
We made
we're
it to the
lucky.
couch.
Yeah,
Mama,
we made it to the couch. Mama, we made it.
So guys, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much. We're gonna bring some other guests. You can just walk
Okay.
out. And thank you again, guys. So
So you don't rip it.
Yeah, I was about to walk up
don't
with
take
it.
it with you. So thank you to Casey and Michelle. Thank you again, guys. Truly appreciate it. And really, cheers. So really, this is a wrap. You know, we've done this for 2 days, for 3 episodes. It's been amazing. Thank you to CalFlowers. Thank you to Steve Dion. Thank you to Monet for really allowing us to do this. It was a great experience, a lot of fun, and we truly hope that it brought a new perspective and a different perspective into what fun in sun is to the industry, and how people are coming together, and how different competitors are talking together and sharing time together and sharing thoughts and solutions together. So truly, thank you again to everybody. Thank you for our sponsors, Armelini, Floral Trade Distributors, Flower Trade Distributors. Thank you so much. And I'm going to do a little quick surprise here. I'm going to bring in my wife really quickly just to give a shout out. My wife has joined me on the show, so I just wanted to give her a quick little shout out so you guys can meet my wife really quickly. Babe, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions. How are you? Welcome. So how have you enjoyed this being your first experience coming to a show ever?
Okay.
In flower industry. I've kept her away from the show, so finally I said, let's go. So what did you think about the show?
Well,
And
first,
by the way, she didn't know this was going to happen. So.
no, I did not know. And I'm an introvert, so I'm very shy in that
But that's
sense.
what's fun about having live pop-ups. But really quick, because we need to wrap up.
So
What
for
was
me,
your favorite?
it was your best kept secret that you
Okay.
kept away from me.
What, coming to the shows? on
Coming to
Sunday
the
hours?
show, hanging out with amazing, artistic, incredible design minds.
Okay.
Everybody has been so kind, and as a consumer who loves flowers, the experience has been amazing. Just to get to meet the growers, the wholesalers, work with Jay, who helped me do this beautiful piece.
Created a whole crowd, all right.
Yes, absolutely. Fun experience. I get to enjoy a bit of sunshine and network and meet wonderful people. So it's been amazing.
Awesome. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So thank you again to CalFlowers, Steve Dion, Monet, Armelini, and Flower Trade Distributors. Thank you so much for FTD for allowing us to do this, and it was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Oh my gosh.
There we go. We got